Good morning, everyone, and welcome to DBM Morning Show. I am Coach Raphael, and here in the studio with me is my co-host, Ibrahim Umawase. Ibrahim, you are welcome to DBM Morning Show.
Good morning, to Chukwurasel. Good morning, viewers.
All right, today is Friday, July 25th, 2025, and we had a rich lineup of thought leaders marketingly to Nigeria's politics, education, and really global pop culture. First, APC's new chairman, national chairmanship, and what it means as the 2027 presidential race itself. And from there, we'll go to Delta State government, where the government has withdrawn controversial promotion memo requiring teachers to purchase computer or ICT-based tablets before they could be promoted. And finally, we shall talk about the passing of a wrestling legend, Hulk Hogan. We shall revisit the memorable moments of a great sports icon. This is DDF, so welcome once again. I hope we will have great conversation today. All right, let's take it away. On July 24, 2025, the All Progressives Congress appointed Professor Nentawe Yilwatda from Plateau State as new national APC chairman. This move marks a strategic push by President Bola Tinubu to consolidate power in the north-central geopolitical zone and reposition the party ahead of the crucial 2027 election. Let's take a brief look at who this man is. Yilwatda was born in August 8, 1968, in Tunduk Kanke local government area of Plateau State. Now, he is a former university lecturer. He is expert in engineering and digital technology. He was also the APC gubernatorial candidate, as governorship candidate in 2023 in Plateau State, as well as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, and Social Development between 2024 and 2025. So, I think this is what the little we had known about him. So, let me call Mr. Ibrahim Bawasi. Now, what do you think about this new development in the ruling parties? There is All Progressives Congress. What does it mean, especially for the coming 2027 election?
Well, Mr. Chukwurasel, going by the current political atmosphere in the country, the APC's nominational election, the Nentawe Yilwatda as the national party chairman is clearly strategic, and they are doing it strictly to, as you said, consolidate power in the central and reposition their own direction towards 2027 general election. So, as you can clearly see, it clearly indicates one thing: nomination of Nentawe Yilwatda as the party's national chairman, that the vice presidential ticket is most likely going to the northwest, not northeast. And the emergence of Nentawe Yilwatda as the national party chairman signifies one thing, apart from who is going to emerge as the flag bearer, a low running mate to Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027. It also indicates that the APC are shifting their focus on popular politicians, because he contested against people like Joshua Chibidari, the former governor of Plateau State, and George Akume, the SGF, and also the former governor of Benue State. And both Joshua Chibidari and George Akume have a bigger profile than Nentawe Yilwatda as far as Nigerian politics is concerned. So I am saying Tinubu is playing a strategic card here, whereby he's bringing people on board that have little um, political baggage as far as faction is concerned, so that he will clear a way for himself come 2027. And people that have little profile, people that will have little profile to question his own leadership. He's the kind of person that likes people that are always uh, answerable and yes men in short, people that will never question him for self-aggrandizement. So that's my take on this topic. It's a strategic move, clearly, because North Central give Bola Ahmed Tinubu um, the largest contribution as far as 2023 election is concerned. He won 4 states in the North Central, as far as northern part of Nigeria is concerned, because I think he won 7 states in total in the north, and 4 came from North Central, 3 from the cool north. So he pays North Central, and strategically, the next move is the vice presidential flag bearer, which people think is going to the north.
All right. Before I believe Mr. Kevin wants to speak, but before you start speaking, let me ask Ibrahim: do you think the opposition coalition or the opposition groups or parties should be worried about this development?
No, I don't think there's anything to be worried about. Although politics is always like a game of puzzle, whereby one move will trigger another. But the opposition, I believe, they anticipated this type of move from the ruling party. They said it clearly that their a national chairmanship uh, seat is going to the North Central prior to the election yesterday. So the big question now is, will the coalition group unify themselves and cement their position to compete the ruling party come 2027? Because they anticipate this movement definitely prior to its uh, occurrence yesterday.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Kevin.
Yes, I've been watching the All Progressive Congress. If you ask me, I think one of their lowest points was to appoint the former governor of Lagos State, that's Mr. Ganduju, as state chairman. The state governor who was caught hands down with collecting bribe dollars. The video is all over the internet. When APC appointed him after Tinubu came into power, I was so disappointed. Somebody who was caught red-handed, collecting their bribe and then putting it in one. And you want to show the world that you are serious about good governance, and you're appointing that kind of person as your as APC chairman. As if they knew that going forward it will be a problem with them in 2027. What we're hearing is that there was a change of leadership. I think Kennedy was asked to leave that post because he just suddenly said he was resigning, which we know. And Nigerian politicians are sit tight leaders who don't just resign for things like that. Then Tinubu gave him a juicy position as the board chairman for Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAR. Now, all of a sudden, we discovered that we saw the move of compass. So all of a sudden, we now saw that they just give another person. He definitely not the position of national chairman, which simply means yes, he still on to the south. Tinubu is running for election. But generally, I would just say the parties are actually preparing themselves for 2027. They are aligning. They are PDP itself is also getting its house in order. In fact, PDP has zoned the presidency to the south. They're actually trying to woo Peter Obi. They are trying to redeem themselves. But everybody looks at them and say, oh, this is a party that is now controlled fully by Wike. Okay, so they don't like to take it serious. Try to redeem itself. ADC has realigned itself and appointed a new national chairman. and Dr. Senator David Mark. So it's not surprising that APC is aligning themselves for 2027. But what remains to be seen is, at the end of the day, I pray our election works, because the populace are going to determine who's going to rule them in 2027. But we all know that the process is flawed in this country, and we don't normally have election. What we have is election. Thank you.
Not election, but selection. All right. That is a great contribution. Let's not forget that the APC chairmanship has frequently rotated between zones. Yilwatda selection returns the position to North Central Nigeria, and this has restored, in the eyes of many, I think, what we call zonal equity after the controversial tenure of his predecessor, Abdullahi Ganduje, from the Northwest. So this is seen as a direct response to internal agitation, and we need to stabilize the party's base in the vital North Central region. And we also saw what happened yesterday following that development. It was reported that young people in Plateau State, went into a jubilant mood. And that would tell you that the politicians know what they are doing. They want to gain the hearts of, the North Central, and in particular the Plateau State. So let us see, as the next election draws near, let us see what will be happening. But from both the ruling parties and from the opposition, it is all going to be a political drama. Should I say political comedy? Because sometimes politics is comedy. It's very, very funny what you see out there. All right, let's move to the next. Is there any other contribution? If you want to contribute, raise your hand and open your video so that you contribute. In the absence of any other
I think Ultra saying I am from Plateau State to begin with, and I don't believe APC's zoning the national chairmanship to Plateau State is going to help them politically. Yeah, we have seen it. Well, we saw it in 2023 when the governor of the state was the ditch campaign to the APC's presidential candidate, and they lost in Plateau State with a landslide margin. So I'm not thinking APC chairman do better than a state governor. Plateau State is not for them, regardless of the move they are going to make there. Definitely, Plateau State has always been a place whereby in presidential election is the opposition party that win the state. Buhari, the champion of the North, contested 3 times and he never won. 4 times, I mean, and he have never won for once in Plateau State. So I don't think they can do any magic to get Plateau State.
Yeah, let me just really. But I was wondering yesterday why they were really showing me there in a Madison State. I think Ibrahim just give me that answer. Definitely, he is from Plateau State, and I think what Tinubu is trying to do is to try to pacify the middle belt. If the man is from Plateau State, that means it's from the middle belt, and he's trying to pacify the middle belt. And we know that if there's one block that is just really pissed to this government, is the fact that this government has not taken security serious, and Plateau State, Benue State, and a lot of the middle belt town state have been more sick when it comes to security. You can remember about a month or two back when about almost 200 people were slaughtered and there was an outcry. So if he's trying to do that to pacify the middle belt, which I feel he's trying to do, I believe that needs to be seen. What countries are really looking up to Tinubu is like a chess player. They are looking at his vice president, whether he will go with his vice president from 2027 or not. You and I know that Tinubu always has a problem with his vices. He had a problem with his vice, Bukma Akerele, when he was in Lagos State. By the time he was going for re-election, he dished out and took Femi Pedro and his vice. It's repeating history. It's about to repeat. It's likely to repeat history again, because the rumors are there now that Pampaso might likely replace Shetima as vice president. He was in the State House, Ashurok, yesterday or so. If you look at the tabloid, if you look at municipal. But what you are seeing is Tinubu playing his normal political game again. He has picked somebody as national chairman from the middle belt, trying to pacify the middle belt, and you saw a lot of people in politics jubilating. like Umar said, and now he wants to see if he can pacify different parts of the country. Don't forget that even in the southeast, he suddenly set up a development commission to the tune of 150 billion. He seems to be making these moves towards getting re-elected, but he forgets that the most important thing that people want in this country right now is security, which he has not even faced. Okay, and then well, I just hope that if he sits down and if he sat down and face good governance from day one, he won't be in the position where he was today. But for what we are seeing, I don't think all these moves will amount to anything. Thank you.
Yes, guys, I want to ask a question, Ibrahim, because you are from the north. And in 2024, End Bad Governance protest happened in August. And even as we are approaching August 1st, people like Shore are getting up to, hold another, a remembrance End Bad Governance Day. So, and we saw that one remarkable thing about the End Bad Governance protest was that majority of the protesters, we are seen in the north. So my question now to you, Ibrahim, is there a general dissatisfaction in the north against Tinubu's government? And maybe that is why he is desperate to make sure that, he buys powerful politicians like Kwankwaso to, over to his side. Do you think there is a general dissatisfaction in the north against this present government?
With regards to this question, I believe there is general dissatisfaction of this government, not just in northern part of Nigeria, but in the country generally. People are suffering across the board. We are all united in poverty. We're united in insecurity. We're united in every ill. So it is not just northern part of Nigeria. But the reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu is more focused uh, in northern part of Nigeria is the fact that he just want to play the normal conventional political card. He's not from the north, he's from the south, clearly. So he will assume that the people of the south will have sympathy towards him. So the people he is going to please before they vote for him are the northerners. It is just as clear as day. So what is he going to do to gain their trust and their sympathy? Is clearly by bringing the people they trust close to him. So that's from a political point of view. And second of all, an average northerner is more info as far as politics is concerned uh, than an average southerner. He understands that northerners knows how to play the game very well, more than any other person in the country. So don't mess with the nuts. That's the idea. So if you want to play it dirty, they know how to play it dirty. If you want to play it fairly, they know how to play it fair. And who are the players? The political uh, heavyweights in the north. And he lost a chunk of them from the APC. You see the likes of Nasru Rufai, the likes of Malami, the likes of uh, uh, a lot of people in the north, and even in the PDP, because he said he's going to, he vowed to destroy the opposition in the country. The likes of David Mark from PDP, he came to the ADC, a lot of people. So he knows he lost his ground in the north. And don't forget, Northerners gave him the largest contribution in 2023 because he won 7 states in the north. In the 12 states, he won. He won only 5 states in the south, which signifies that Northerners were the one who voted for him, not even the Southerners. So he understands that very well, and he is trying to gain the trust again to his side. He know 2023 religious card is not going to carry any weight. So Muslim ticket is not going to carry any weight. But he understand that if you bring someone who the northerners have um, trust in, then definitely, maybe, just maybe, you will gain their vote. So that's the card he's playing.
Why do you say that the religious card won't gain any weight again in 2027.
I strongly believe that politics is strictly emotional. It's an emotional investment. So that's why these politicians, they try to weaponize our identity. So to an average northerner, the biggest weapon is his religion. Northerners are not tribalistic. They are religious bigots. Southerners are not religious bigots. They are tribalistic. So playing the card in the north is weaponizing religion, not tribalism. Because northerners are more diverse than southerners. Don't get it wrong. Take the geopolitical zones in the south, for example. Southeastern part of Nigeria is predominantly Igbo and predominantly Christian. It is fair to say 99% of southeastern part of Nigeria are Christians and Igbos. Going to the south are diverse in terms of tribe, but not religion. They are 90% to 95% Christians in the south. And in the southwest are diverse in terms of religion because they are evenly shared between Muslim and Christians, but they are majorly Yorubas in terms of tribe. But look at northern part of Nigeria, for example. We are diverse in all aspects: religion, tribe, and everything we like to call. So the unifying factor in the north is mostly religion. So he understands that, and he plays the card, it fades. Now he's not going to play the same thing again. Once he comes with the religious card, he tries it and it fails. That's the first Muslim ticket as far as Nigerian or same faith ticket as far as Nigerian democracy is concerned. We have tried it in military regimes like Buhari's regime. Muhammadu Buhari and Idi Amin were both Muslims, and in Yakubu Gowon's regime, him and his vice president were both Christians. But as far as Nigerian democracy, like in a democratic system, that's the first time. Although Abiola won in 1993 with a Muslim ticket, but they did not govern the country. So that's the first experience we have, and it's a spectacular failure. So northerners are not going to fall for the same trap again. Before, they thought for you to be a good person, you have to be a Muslim. A Muslim is the definition of a good person. And now the two Muslims have failed them. And it is very, very easy for them now to see beyond the religious card. That's no, there are good people everywhere and there are bad people everywhere. So now he's trying to bring people on board that have the capacity. Definitely, if he is going to bring people like Rabbi Musa Konkusu, he will appeal to an average northerner, surely, without a doubt, because he did well in Kano State. And an average northerner will think that I'm seeing these two people as the heir to Buhari because there is no politician that has the influence that Buhari did in northern part of Nigeria up to death. But I'm seeing these two politicians or three politicians as heir to Buhari. Number one, Babagana Umara Zulum of Borno State. Number two, Rabiu Musa Konkoso of Kano State, and Nasru Rufai of Kaduna State. So these are the three people that an average northerner think they stand for his interests.
All right, thank you very much. But let's say that President Tinubu used Muslim ticket. It worked for him, of course, in 2023 because he used that strategy to gain access to power, but it did not, and it is not working for the people, but it worked for the politicians. I believe it won't work again in 2027. So thank you very much, Ibrahim. Now let's move on to the next discussion, which has to do with education, or should I say corruption in education. Now, the Delta state government has recently withdrawn a controversial memo that mandated teachers and non-teaching staff in secondary schools to personally purchase ICT tablets or enroll in a salary deduction scheme to acquire these tablets. The memo, that is letter, was issued on July 23rd, 2025 by Post-Primary Education Board, PPEB, and signed by Bazunu Ahoho Precious, warned that non-compliance would affect teachers' eligibility for promotion exercises. Very sad indeed. This directive ignited widespread outrage among educators, civil society groups, and education stakeholders who condemned it and as exploitative and unjust, especially given the prevailing economic hardship faced by teachers in Delta State. Now, according to the memo, the tablets were embedded with educational applications intended to improve teachers' ICT proficiency. However, critics argue that these educational apps can operate effectively on smartphones, devices many teachers already own, which calls into question the necessity of forcing the purchase of new tablets. Now, teachers earning below the national minimum wage, with many earning under 40,000 naira monthly, expressed distress at being compelled to bear the financial burden of purchasing devices that should rightfully be provided by the government as part of their education development. This is a sad situation. Corruption is widespread in Nigeria. Corruption is endemic. It means that it has permeated into every nook and cranny, every institution in Nigeria. What can we call it? Just we are talking about the government introducing, CBT into the WAEC and NECO examinations, and where I also, countered it partially by saying that it won't stop unless the management and teachers are part of the success. That corruption, exam malpractice won't stop because the management are part of it. Now look at the same management in Delta State indulging in the same corruption, the same depraved action. Let me hear your words, Mr. Ibrahim, on this matter.
I don't know if I can come in before Ibrahim.
Oh, okay, Mr. Kelvin.
That's actually my speed.
All right.
That's actually my speed because when I saw that, I laughed because I don't know what's wrong with that state. I think since the time of James Ipori, we've not really had any serious governor in that state at all. That state in fact, that state is the richest state right now in the country in terms of subventions. I don't know if you remember when Wiki was governor of River State, sometimes he goes and mocks Delta State and asks them what they are doing. You get to Port Harcourt, in fact, they call Wiki Mr. Project. When you get to River State, you see virtually nothing. All the monies are coming from oil. In fact, there was a time I had to go and check the revenue allocation and discover that Delta State was earning the highest in terms of subventions. I expect the state government that they should be able to provide such facilities like tablets. What are they really doing with tablets? Even laptops for teachers to use. Now, from their stipend, you want to collect money and say you want to give them laptops. I saw sometime, Anambra where Subudu gave, I think, at an event where he gave laptops to a lot of teachers. I saw the number of brand new laptops he keep somewhere and were given to teachers. You know that Anambra State has the highest education rate of terms of index in this country. I expect Delta State government to give those teachers laptops free also, understand, because they are capable of doing it. They are not even repairing, innovating schools. The little they want to do, they want to collect the stipends from these teachers. I think, look at it as no, and that governor doesn't seem to know what he's doing. He does not value education. Me, if he valued education, I believe you should be able to provide such facility for teachers to be able to use. They need these things a lot nowadays because if you ask me, I think the library is becoming obsolete. These teachers need something to be able to get access to the internet with and do their research and teach their students. So to me, this is something I feel they should provide to the teachers, even free of charge. Okay? They should find a way for the teachers to always come to the office, use these gadgets, and also go back home instead of collecting the small stipends they have just to give them tablets. Thank you.
Mr. Wasi.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tuchiko Raphael. Clearly, it is sad for us in our country to be seeing this kind of unfortunate incident happening. it begs the question, if teachers must buy tools to aid promotion, are we promoting excellence in education or institutionalizing economic oppression within the civil service? Because this is clearly oppression. The government that hired the teachers are the ones making it compulsory for them to buy certain tools before they get promoted. That's mean the promotion is not based on meritocracy. It's based on uh, corruption. And is it prioritizing educational advancement or revenue extraction? Or worse, as I said earlier, a corruption scandal? Is our government now indulging into corruption fully, without fear, without shame, openly doing it, and being proud to say that if you're not accepting my own corruption, I'm not even going to promote you? For me, this is very, very sad. If the government will buy these tools and they believe that the tools are going to promote education in Nigeria, why not give it to these teachers? Why must they buy the tools before they get promoted? This is clearly sad, honestly speaking, Mr. Oprasin.
Well, Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful tool by which any nation can use to change the world. But in Nigeria, you see that education is relegated to the least, the background, where teachers are not paid, and when in the condition that in which they are paid, they are just given a token, chicken change. There is no instructional material in the school. So this is what we continue to see in a country that is allegedly regarded as the giant of the nation. Education is the first thing any sensible government should even invest on, because it is the foundation, it is the basics, it is the building blocks. But today we see that it is not the reality. Now, you are still watching DDM Morning Show. If you want to contribute to any of the topics, you do ensure to raise a hand and open your video so that you can contribute meaningfully to the topics that we are discussing today. Do not forget that this is not the first time this is happening, or this has happened in Delta State. There is a history of similar exploitative practices, such as the period between 2014 and 2018, when teachers were sold substandard laptops through enforced salary deductions, which left many frustrated due to the poor quality of the devices. Now, the current move by Delta State government is perceived as political optics and not genuine reform. Never. Observers note that while teachers pay forcibly or are forced to pay, political office holders, that is, people holding political offices, receive free laptops, free vehicles, and other, gifts, highlighting glaring inequalities in public resource allocation. Those who should receive more, those who are working on a daily basis, 24 hours, to see that our children are educated or imparted good knowledge, they are receiving little. Or those who do not do any piece of work or little work receive more. So this controversy also raises legal and ethical questions, as making career progression contingent on personal purchases violates labor rights, and many invite legal challenges. So it is very sad. Any more contribution? Raise a hand.
I just
Make
yeah, I just
contribution.
read what you just read out, and it really made me to reflect. We have political office of holders get most of these things free of charge. Some of them, their cars are changed every year. Some of them, like the National Assembly, their furniture are changed every year, and they have a situation whereby you have to educate people, and you need to equip the teachers, and you're bringing them to go through all these trades. Can you provide them laptops? You want to give them tablets, and then you want to collect the pittance that they receive. And like you just said, you've done it in the past before, and they give them substandard laptop. Maybe the person they contracted it to went to bring something substandard, but they say, "It's in this country," and I pray that we take education seriously in this country, and we won't take ourselves seriously in this country. Thank you.
All right. I remember recently this lawmaker in the Senate, Ned Nwoko, is a lawmaker from Delta State. He revealed that Delta State's allocation monthly is 40 billion. Every month, Delta State receives 40 billion naira. So I wonder where all the so I wonder where all these funds are moving into. I wonder. Anyway, may God help us in Nigeria. All right, let's move to our last topic for this morning's DDM morning show. We are remembering a great sports person, Hulk Hogan. We all know him. When we were little, everyone who did not watch this man, I don't know what to call you, because he entertained us during our child. That man is the one who has just died. So I want us to talk about his lifetime, what you know him for, because he achieved a lot, and not just in the entertainment industry, but also in politics. You know, he was known for many things. The wrestling icon Hulk Hogan passed away at the age of 71 from cardiac arrest on July 24th, yesterday. And Hogan's influence extended beyond wrestling into global pop culture and politics, including his vocal support for Donald Trump's presidential campaigns. And Hogan, whose real name is Terry Bollea, was a professional wrestler who became a global superstar. Now, let's think of him as a major political figure who also happened to be a celebrity, but in the world of wrestling. Now, he was known for his big muscles, his blonde mustache, and his signature red and yellow clothes he usually wore. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was an entertainer. He made people believe in his heroic character. So let's know some key milestones of his wrestling career. Hogan became famous in the early 1980s when he joined the WWF, which meant World Wrestling Federation, which is now called WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. He won his first major championship in 1984, and this started what was called Hulkmania, a huge wave of fan excitement where everyone rooted for him. Now, Hulkmania refers to the enormous popularity and excitement surrounding Hulk Hogan during his time as a top wrestling star. Now, it was like a social movement he was just like, um, a cult of personality was formed around him. So he held the top championship in WWE for a very long time, over 1,474 days, which is one of the longest reigns ever in that era. He was also a champion in another major wrestling company called WCW, which meant World Championship Wrestling. Now, Hogan had many memorable matches, like when he famously body slammed Andre the Great, another wrestling champion, at WrestleMania 3 in 1987, in front of a massive crowd. WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl or Champions League final of professional wrestling. So this man, was highly regarded as a great sports person. I believe if you were little, I watched him. I watched him a lot when I was much younger. I I knew him as somebody who was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Mr. Ibrahim, I don't know whether you watched wrestling when you were little. What can you tell us about it?
I was not a fan of wrestling, but I definitely I knew that Hulk Hogan was. For me, he was not just a wrestler; he was a symbol. He embodied the pop culture, and what makes him special is not just um, the wrestling, but um, the persona he built around himself. He redefined masculinity for an entire generation, blending brute force with charisma, patriotism with performance. Hogan represents the classic alpha male icon: strong, loud, loyal, and never backing down from a fight. But beyond America, he became a global phenomenon. We all watch him. He all inspire us across the globe. He made us to feel you can do it once you believe in yourself, once um, you believe in the path you're moving on. So Hogan is an icon and definitely lost a hero. The world lost a hero.
All right. I was confessed when I was young. I always ran to the TV when I see Hulk Hogan on set. He's somebody who we looked up to and shaped wonder about our interest in wrestling when we were young. He died at the age of 71. I always liked him, but I think I think last year or so during the election, I know he was a very diehard supporter of Donald Trump. Me personally, I'm not one of his supporters. But when I saw him, I was anyway. He's somebody who's revered and who's an icon. So who will say, um, this is how life is. People come, people go. Not sure if it lasts forever, but um, definitely someone who celebrates. Thank you.
All right. You want to make contribution to this? Raise your hand, turn on your video, and speak. Now, let's not forget Hulk Hogan's exploits in politics, especially before Donald Trump went to power or gained power for the second time. Hulk Hogan was one of the celebrities that supported it. We all know the value, uh, the value or support celebrities give to politicians, and not just in America, even here in Nigeria. We saw during the 2023 presidential election how entertainers, disagreed amongst themselves over what particular candidate to support. Some of Nollywood actors I can remember, Zach Orji, Yule, they supported President Tinubu, even though they were all Igbos, and P2B was there. So they had a choice, and they had great impact there. So don't underestimate the power or the popularity or the influence of Nollywood actors, musicians, and all that. Just remember Kenneth Okonkwo, for example, when in one of his interviews, um, people were asking him or were saying that what brought him to popularity or to fame was the personality of Peter B. But he was defending himself by saying no, that he was popular or famous already before he got into politics. And what made him to be popular was the virtue of his position in the Nollywood industry. And that even helped to boost the popularity of Peter. So he had this confidence that he, that fame is not just, defined in terms of political, position, but also in terms of entertainment position. the position you hold as a musician, a popular musician, or a popular actor. So that was the case in the United States when Hulk Hogan attended one of the Trump rallies and saw what happened. He tore the way he normally did. He tore his singlet and revealed the Donald Trump written on his inner wear. So it was very remarkable. And the influence of entertainers can never be underestimated. All right. In the absence of any other contribution, I thank everyone who has joined this program, DDM Morning TV, DDM TV Morning Show, brought to you by the Diaspora District Media, every day at 9 a.m. I believe you enjoyed today's conversation. If you did so, do not hesitate to hit the like button on YouTube. Make your comments on the different topics we have discussed. Share this video widely and expect more interesting things to come. Today is Friday, so our next program, our next version, our next episode will be on Monday. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you, Ibrahim Umawase. Thank you, Mr. Kevin.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all viewers.
All right. Thank you, everyone, once more for having joined this program. See you next time. I remain Raphael. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.